Here's what you need to know this morning. By-election contest tightens in Willoughby. The formerly safe Liberal seat of Willoughby, previously held by former Premier Gladys Berejiklian, remains in doubt after Saturday's by-election. The counting of preferences has tightened the contest between Liberal candidate Tim James and independent Larissa Penn. The ABC's chief election analyst Antony Green said Mr. James is currently ahead with 51.9% of the vote, with Larissa Penn on 48.1%. Counting so far shows a swing of more than 19% against the government. The result has implications federally because a little independent with not much money has run the Liberal Party a tight race in a safe seat, Mr. Green said. Counting will continue today, with postal votes to be counted on Saturday. 3 injured in Sydney CBD crash. 3 people were injured in the collision. Supplied, TNV. 3 people have been injured in a collision between a bus and a car in Sydney CBD. Emergency services were called to the intersection of Erskine and Kent Streets about 7:30 p.m. last night, following reports a bus and a Mazda 3 had collided. After arriving, officers were told the bus and Mazda collided before the bus crashed into a tree and the Mazda into a building. The Mazda driver, a 46-year-old man, was treated by paramedics before being taken to Royal Prince Alfred Hospital in a stable condition. The sole passenger of the Mazda, a 22-year-old man, was taken to St. Vincent's Hospital in a stable condition. The bus driver, a 64-year-old man, was also taken to St. Vincent's Hospital in a stable condition. Government warns union could face repercussions. Thousands of nurses have marched to Parliament House in Sydney. Tim Swanston, NSW Health, says it's considering whether to take action against the nurses' union over yesterday's strike, which saw thousands of nurses across the state walk off the job in breach of the Industrial Relations Commission's orders. The union says 8,500 nurses and midwives across the state joined the rallies to protest over staffing levels and pay. It came after the industrial umpire ruled on Monday that the strike action should be called off. In Parliament, the Premier Dominic Perrottet described the nurses as frontline heroes and said the government hoped it could provide a resolution as quickly as possible. The union's Brett Holmes said nurses turned out in amazing numbers to voice their concerns and call for change, and has urged health authorities not to prosecute the union over the strike. Well, I think it would be unfortunate if the Ministry of Health sought to punish nurses and midwives for undertaking their obligations to stand up for safe patient care, Mr. Holmes said. Interest in Hunter Renewable Energy Zone. The government said offshore wind farms are among the projects attracting commercial interest. Supplied, APA. The NSW government said it has received more than $100 billion worth of interest in renewable energy projects for the Hunter and Central Coast. Energy Minister Matt Keane said offshore wind farms, solar farms and large-scale battery storage are among almost 90 projects attracting commercial interest in a planned renewable energy zone. Mr. Keane said the projects had the potential to deliver energy equivalent to the output of 10 coal-fired power stations. He said the Hunter region would continue to the energy powerhouse of the state. Man charged over alleged $730,000 fraud. A former employee has been charged after allegedly obtaining more than $730,000 in fraudulent payments from a Sydney-based insurance company. In April last year, detectives began an investigation into allegations of fraudulent activity against an insurance company. Police were told 239 fraudulent payments, totaling $731,124, had been made by a male employee between March 2019 and March 2021. Detectives arrested a 31-year-old man at a home at Bathurst in December last year. He was taken to Bathurst Police Station and charged with make false document to obtain financial advantage, knowingly deal with proceeds of crime, and dishonestly obtain financial advantage by deception. The man was granted strict conditional bail and is due to appear at the Downing Centre local court today.